Hello, this is Asin Law Office. Today, I'll explain how to avoid unfavorable misunderstandings during a theft investigation, specifically referencing the Seoul Dongdaemun Police Station. A theft investigation is a procedure to confirm facts, but it's also a process of inferring your intent. That's why it's crucial to formulate your statements carefully so that not a single sentence leads to a misunderstanding. The most common misunderstandings arise from how you express yourself. Phrases like, "I was just planning to borrow it for a moment," or "I was going to pay it back," can easily be recorded as if you had the intention to take it from the beginning. You might think you are just explaining the situation, but the official record could emphasize premeditation and intent. It might seem hard to believe from a common-sense perspective, but that's how statements in a police report can become rigid. Therefore, it's necessary to reconstruct the timeline of events factually before the investigation. Another point is misunderstanding your attitude. You might get tongue-tied from nervousness, or your emotions might take over while emphasizing how unfair the situation is. If your testimony changes in the process, it can lead to issues with your credibility. That's why, in an investigation, structure comes before emotion. You need to decide in advance what to admit and what to dispute, and how you plan to handle restitution for the damages. The criminal process doesn't end with the investigation. After the case is sent to the prosecution, it can lead to a summary order or a trial. Even a fine will leave you with a criminal record. So, from the very first investigation stage, you need a strategy that keeps future procedures in mind. The key issues differ for each type of case, like theft, soliciting prostitution, or insurance fraud, so the approach must be tailored to the specific incident. We prioritize analyzing the structure of the case itself, rather than setting a direction based on a success fee. Many cases are also linked to civil matters. During settlement negotiations, you must consider potential damages claims and the possibility of future disputes. We have experience designing debt collection and compulsory execution plans, so we also check for risks that can arise after a settlement. Reducing misunderstandings at the investigation stage also lessens the burden of potential civil lawsuits later on. During a consultation, we don't jump to conclusions after hearing just a few lines of your story. We check every detail: the timing, evidence, CCTV footage, and conversation records. Just as a hospital needs tests for an accurate diagnosis, legal problems require a precise examination to prevent misunderstandings. Deciding not to take a case is also part of this thorough process. Ultimately, the way to avoid unfavorable misunderstandings is not through emotional explanations, but through structured preparation. The direction you set in the initial investigation determines the entire flow of your case. Law firm Asin handles criminal, civil, family, real estate, and administrative law with this standard. If you need a consultation, please refer to the video description. Subscribing and liking helps us provide more meticulous legal advice.